Hi, Camilita here again. Today we are doing Q&A. People have sent in questions about my business, my life, what I do. And so today we're going to be answering questions based on what people sent in. So welcome to Q&A with Camilita. Don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't, so that you can hear all our episodes that's coming up. Press the little bell so you can get notified on when the next episode comes out with Camilita Q&A. So welcome to this episode, which is talking about discipline, the discipline that made me a millionaire. So people are asking, what does that discipline looks like? And I'll give you a really good example of the discipline. Because you hear so many people talk about they want to be a millionaire and this one want to be a millionaire. And why do they want to become a millionaire? I don't know. But people, the question is the discipline that made me a millionaire. Now, what I will say is that you need discipline in life generally. Okay. You need discipline to get up in the morning. You need discipline to brush your teeth, to make up your bed. You need discipline across the board. But when it comes to generating revenue, there's a different type of discipline that is required. And that usually has to do a lot with mindset. It has to do a lot with what's going on in your mind and your head. So I'm going to share a little bit about the discipline that made me a millionaire compared to so many other people that I see and that I watch who say they want to do it, but then the discipline is not there to do it, to physically do it. And again, don't forget you can listen to all of it by just subscribing on YouTube. You can see, all of what we share. So let's get into this, the discipline that I had to share with some people about becoming a millionaire. For me, I live a very disciplined life, sometimes too disciplined, but it's very rigid in that sense, not to become a millionaire, but it's rigid to achieve all what God has called me to achieve. That's what I would say. Okay. The discipline to achieve what God has called me to achieve. I think I'm very rigid with that. And sometimes I've got to pull back, but this is my discipline when it comes to wanting to become a success or become a millionaire. For me, it is I look at my daily goals. So I have daily, weekly, monthly, 90 days, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. And then I go up to 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Those goals are there and they're right in front of my face all the time. They're on my board, they're on my wall, they're literally everywhere. The reason that they're there is to remind me of why I'm doing what it is I'm doing. And my why is also in those goals and targets. So I segment everything that I do within, those time slots, daily, weekly, monthly, 90 days, 6 months, 1 year, 18 months, and, so on and so forth. But what I do, which is different from a lot of people, is that even my daily goals are segmented in 30-minute slots, 20-minute slots, or hour slots. And they are focused on income generating work. They are focused on exercise and looking after your mental health. They're also focused on follow-ups with clients. They're focused on what I need to do compared to what my team or my staff does. They are focused on the end goal, and they're always focused on the end goal. So I'm going to dive in a little bit into what I do on a daily basis and why and how I'm able to have that discipline. So before I go into that, I want to share with you in order to become a millionaire, to have what you want, the one thing I will say to you is that you buy your luxuries from your assets. So the first port of call is that you buy assets. So I teach my clients, make sure when you started your business or if you're building a business, buy assets first or create multiple incomes first, create your exit strategy first. So then you're working towards something constantly. Okay. You're always working towards something. You know what you're working towards. You know what you're working for. And then you buy your luxuries from those assets. You never buy your luxuries from your income, as it were. You always buy your luxuries from your assets. So the discipline has to be, you do the opposite. What everybody else is doing, do the opposite. If everybody else is spending, you're investing. If everybody else is going away on, massive holidays, you are doing the opposite. You might have to sacrifice a lot in order to get there. So when my husband and I were doing our property investing, We would focus on the end goal, like how many properties we want to buy and when. And we would focus on what do we need to do to get those properties? What do we need to do daily in order to buy the properties? And what do we need to do once we get them? How do we, again, make more money from that money? So it was a constant process when it came to building, but it was a process on the daily activity. This is where most people falter, guys. I promise you. Like I would watch some people sometimes, and they're wasting time. They're literally wasting the day, they're wasting the time, and all of that business. I don't waste time. Like I hate wasting. I'll give away money. I will not give away my time because with time I could make more money. So I focus on my daily targets and my daily goals. And I start from if it's 6 a.m., 7 a.m., right up until 5, 6, 7 o'clock, whatever time I choose to finish. And everything is segmented into income generating work. It's segmented into follow-ups. It's segmented into if I'm going to look at new properties. Everything is segmented. That's number one. You've got to segment everything in which you do into time slots. That's number one. That's what I do. Number two, you've got to look at what is urgent, what is important, and what can wait. In today's world, every single thing seems to be urgent. No, it's not. It is not urgent. Your job is to focus on the things that are urgent or important, the things that can wait, let them, or people, let them wait. Okay? Because in any one time, you need to focus on what generates the most money in the least amount of time, with the least amount of effort, with the most amount of profit. That's what you need to focus on. And if you are not focused on that, it means your time is being spent elsewhere. So if your focus is on what generates the most money, least amount of time, least amount of effort, most amount of profit, then you should be focused on what you need to do every single day to get to that particular goal. Another thing in which I do is that I have a scoreboard. So I score myself on what I should have done and what I didn't get done. And at the end of every day, I review. And at the end of every week, I review. Okay, that's another thing. One key thing that I do really well is that every Sunday night, this is like for years, every Sunday night, clockwork, I would sit down and I would look at all what is going to happen for the next week. It might take maybe half an hour, 30 minutes, an hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours. It all depends on what's going on. And I would review what's happening for the next week. And the reason I do that is because I want to be on the ball. I want to know exactly what's happening for the next week, line by line, in my head. I know what's going on. I know what's happening. I know who's doing what, more importantly. And I know when things need to get done. Because, guys, I'm telling you, everybody has 24 hours in a day. The difference between you, me, and someone else is what we do with those 24 hours, especially the 8 to 10 waking hours that we should be working. Okay. And one last thing I'll talk about on this particular one, that discipline. Um, you've got to do today what others will not, so that you can have tomorrow what others cannot. Now, a lot of people, when I say that, they're like, what does that mean? Well, everybody else going on holiday, you need to be investing. Everybody is sort of going out and chilling out and doing whatever, you need to be creating. Everybody is watching TV or scrolling on social media like there's no tomorrow, or TikTok like there's no tomorrow. No, you have got to be processing or engaging so that you can get the next sale. It's the only way for you to truly have the discipline you need in order to become a millionaire. And the whole thing, I mean, we think about yes, it's money. It is money. It is money, yes, but it is also discipline with everything else. A discipline with your time, discipline. And that's what most people, well, that's where most people falter. And the last thing I will share with you with regard to this particular question is just give yourself time. Be flexible. Okay? You're not to compete with anyone else. Somebody else want to do it quicker, fine. Knock yourself out. Get to millionaire status in 2 days. That's your problem. I am not talking about that. I'm talking about you having a plan that works for you, your family, and your sanity, more importantly. And there is no race. You do it in 10 years, it's you. You do it in 3 years, fine. You do it in a year, you do it in 6 months, that's up to you. But have your own plan, when and how you're going to do it, and how you're going to make it happen. I hope that this has helped someone today and not put stress on yourself even more with this particular question. Any questions? Go to camilita.com, send me a quick message, or click my entrepreneur assessment. Do not forget, click the link and subscribe so you can hear, and click the notifications bell so you'll be notified when our next Q&A happens. All right, God bless. I'll see you soon. And when you get it done, I will see you at the top.